Three men who share a common thread: humble beginnings, self-made, and a strong faith. Nick Saban has won 3 national championships and is one of the most powerful coaches in the country. But it was a setback 30 years ago in Ohio that changed his life.
I got fired once, and I think that was a good thing.
He says he took his job for granted and felt bulletproof and irreplaceable, but that wasn't the case.
So that experience sort of made me realize that and have a greater appreciation for being a team player, being committed to the principles and values of the organization and being accountable to them, and that's something that's helped me a lot in the future. And sometimes I see young people now in our organization who have never lost their job before, that sort of take things for granted, maybe the way I did when I was younger.
Today, one of the highest paid men in college sports, Saban started out pumping gas as a kid in a coal mining town in West Virginia, eventually playing football at Kent State. It was a decision to walk away from his hometown's favorite pastime that was a defining moment for Governor Robert Bentley. Working at the bait shop here in Columbiana, making high grades in school and serving as the president of the debate team, he learned quickly following his vision wasn't always going to be understood. As a senior in high school, Bentley decided not to play football. When his coach found out, he told his dad that Bentley would never amount to anything. The governor says he didn't let it bother him. However, he never forgot it.
He said, "I hate to say this, Mr. Bentley," he said, "but he just never will amount to anything." That's what he said. And I always remember that, for him to say that I would not amount to anything, and for him to tell my daddy that. But he never said anything to me about that. He always honored my decision.
If you think Bentley didn't face failure making his way to the top of the state's political arena, think again. He faced tremendous odds from the start.
My father had a 7th grade education and my mother had an 8th grade education. And that's as far as they went in school. So we did not come from a wealthy family. My father, who the last 20 years he had a pulpwood truck.
Regardless, Bentley went on to attend college and medical school. In his first bid for public office, Bentley lost the state Senate seat by less than 60 votes out of 45,000 cast.
It's okay to lose. You just don't let it get you down. Losing a race is like losing a football game. You work hard, you do the best you can, but for some reason you just don't win it.
But it's not the getting knocked down that's important. It's having the ability to get up, and that's knowing who you are and why you're in this world.
It was at about this same time that Birmingham Mayor William Bell was knocked down. Many thought he was the heir apparent to Richard Arrington Jr., but he lost the 1999 mayoral race by 1%. Then after that setback, another, losing his city council seat after 21 years.
It was more of a personal devastation than anything else. For about 6 months, I had a sense of what do I do now? But again, I relied upon my training, I relied upon my own self-understanding and self-worth, and I picked myself up and moved on.
Bell worked in the private sector developing parking decks and didn't even know if he wanted to get back into politics. In fact, people said he was washed up. Today, he brings a much different perspective because of it.
And so some things that might upset the average person in the political arena, it no longer affects me. I tell people sometimes who come in and say, well, I voted for you, and if you don't do such and such, I'm going to vote against you. Well, I've been voted out of office before and survived, so it doesn't scare me for someone to say, if you don't do this, I won't vote for you. That gives me a freer hand to do what's right and not necessarily what's politically expedient, but to do the right thing.
Did you feel like your career was over when you got fired? Did you say to yourself, this is it, I'm done?
No. I just, it's like losing a game. Every time you lose a game, you don't say I'm done. You kind of look back at it and say, what could I have done to do things better, what would have given me a better opportunity to be successful, what mistakes, what errors, what judgments did we make that weren't good. I had to learn from them and grow from them and continue to do the right things the right way to accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself.
Successfully moving past failure, all three say family shaped their journey. Saban followed in his dad's coaching footsteps, naming his charitable organization Nick's Kids after him. Bell cites his parents and grandparents for teaching him how to be a survivor.
And that I will faithfully.
And Bentley confides his only wish is that his parents could have seen him sworn in as governor.
So help me God.
Melissa Crabtree, CBS 42 News.